everybody. Happy New Year from the Railsplitter Athletics Report. It's our first show of 2016, and we hope you had a great holiday season. It's been a long time since we talked LMU athletics. Last two times that LMU teams played in 2015 was on the 19th, and that was men's and women's basketball. So we'll talk about that a little bit tonight with our guest, Krystal Evans of the women's basketball program, and of course Josh Schertz from the men's team. And a lot to talk about because I think our last show was the Thursday prior to that. So we've got a lot of sports to talk about. It is 2016. Lady Railsplitters still looking for their first win of the year, and the Railsplitters picked up their first win on Wednesday night, although they also have another loss since the last time we talked. So definitely you're going to be interested to keep up to date on everything going on. Want to remind you to keep up to date on everything going on with Lincoln Memorial University Athletics. You got to pull up the LMU Athletics website, www.lmurailsplitters.com. We're back right after this on the Railsplitter Athletics Report.
Interest at heart. On your way to work, try one of our mouth-watering breakfast sandwiches or flatbread omelets. If it's lunch or dinner you're after, choose from a wide selection of classic, select, or premium sandwiches that are all made specifically to order. Serving a crowd, Subway also has sandwich platters, giant subs, box lunches, and even cookie platters. Be it dine in or carry out, you can eat healthy and eat fresh at Subway. 368 Catawba Avenue in Harrogate and on the corner of the Village Square Mall, Middlesboro. If you love your car or truck, let us help you keep it clean at Soapy J's. Soapy J's has unlimited wash plans to fit every budget. Try our $5 express wash or one of our 3 monthly wash plans. The Wheel Deal, the Soapy J, or the new Blast Wax. With our monthly wash plans, if you pay with credit card, all you do is pay for the present month and your card will be billed on the first of each month. Don't forget Soapy J's has free vacuums with any wash. Soapy J's Express Car Wash, open 7 days a week. Let us help keep your car or truck clean at Soapy J's. Soapy J's on the Cumberland Gap Parkway, Middlesboro. Institutional case good or architectural woodwork. Nolan Products Incorporated of Knoxville has been serving East Tennessee, Southwest Virginia, and Southeast Kentucky since 1958. From concept to finish, Nolan Products custom builds to the highest quality standards to meet your facility specifications while using only the finest materials available. Nolan Products has been serving and meeting the needs and requirements of general contractors and architects in East Tennessee and surrounding area for more than 55 years. Nolan Products Incorporated, 912 Forsyth Street Northeast, Knoxville.
Welcome back to the Railsplitter Athletics Report. Krystal Evans, head coach of the Lady Railsplitters, joins us now as we're talking women's basketball. And Coach, it's been a long time since we've talked, and if we go back to 2015, last year, so to speak, Lady Railsplitters closed out 2015 with a great win on the road down in Newberry, South Carolina. And, you know, you and I have talked about this, and I don't really want to bring it up again, but I will. 22 years since LMU had won a game down there in women's basketball, and this was the year to break that streak.
Well, I think, again, the girls still kind of had like an open wound from having our season-ending game loss there last season. And, you know, I think that was kind of something that was still in the back of their heads when they started the game, and they just kind of wanted to redeem themselves. And they came out, and they came out aggressive on offense, and really, you know, were getting stops and rebounding well on the defensive end. And, you know, they read the pregame notes where it said that we hadn't won there in 22 years, so they were fully aware of it. And it was just something, you know, again, that they really fueled them, which I'm glad, because sometimes, you know, that can shut a team down. But obviously our team took it as a challenge, and they came out and performed.
Yeah, I'll go back and say that time frame is a little bit skewed because there was a period of time where LMU and Newberry did not play. They weren't in the same league. There was no reason to really play. I think they were even in separate regions at that time. Lady Railsplitters in the South region, Newberry was in the Southeast at that time. So they rekindled the series when LMU became a member of the South Atlantic Conference. So that said, you know, obviously, Coach, you didn't have to deal with Haley LePeo, and I know that was to your liking. Yes. But I thought you did a great job on Samantha Creed, particularly in the first half.
Well, Samantha Creed is just an amazing player. I mean, she can score, she can get to the basket, she can post up smaller guards, she can shoot the three, she's smart. She just makes really good decisions. She's can see the floor very well. You know, she's 5'10", great passer, and she's just a great all-around player. Matter of fact, Samantha's one of my favorite players across the league. And we did an excellent job on her. We were able to contain her and not allow her to get to the rim as easily as she normally does. And you know, she did hit a couple threes, but every shot that she took was contested. And you know, if she made it, it was definitely, she worked for it. And I just thought we did an excellent job on her.
You've had some big wins this year, but of the games that I have personally seen, I would have to say that probably that was the best team effort I've seen this year.
I agree. I felt like it was a total team effort. I felt like we played excellent offense. We played excellent defense. We shared the ball. We rebounded well. We limited their possessions, and I just felt like we really played. The effort was there, and this is something me and you have discussed multiple times. I felt like the effort's been there in every game. You know, my kids play hard, but we played smart against Newberry, and that was the difference.
Okay, so the win sends you into the holiday break on a positive note. I think at that point you were 7-4 overall, 4-2 in the league. You take about a 3-week hiatus, give or take a couple of days, and you come back to a road game with Mars Hill this past Wednesday night. Your first action in a long time, first game for Jasmine Kelly coming back since the passing of her father. And you know, like all teams have to endure, you wonder, are they going to come back on top of their game? Can they pick up where they left off? Or are they going to come back a little bit slow? And I thought while they played hard early in the contest, the offense just was grueling trying to get a bucket, much less an easy bucket.
Well, I just felt like we were still not in game shape coming off that break. You know, yes, we were getting up and down the court, and yes, the effort was there, but it's like when you're not in good shape, your mind just totally shuts down, and that's what happened in the game. We just didn't play smart. On the offensive end, every basket that we got, it just seemed like it was as hard. We made it as hard as we possibly could. Our spacing was off. We just really weren't moving. We were standing still. We weren't really working the ball around the floor too much. And again, we were just making our offense very difficult. And you know, I hate that we started the year that way.
You're watching game footage from the game. It's this basically the film that the coaches use to as scout film, so forth. But a game in which your bigs really had a hard time because of the physicality of the game early, and I really would have thought that type game would have played to our advantage with players like Josie Harding, Megan Pittman, Courtney Cox coming in, who can be a very physical player, Lakeisha Beasley. But the thing about Mars Hill was they're just as long as we are in those positions. They're very physical. I mean, Kelsey Espinosa is a beast. I watched her rip a ball away from both Harding and Megan Pittman at the same time with authority. And, you know, a lot of times when our guys were, or our girls in this case, were taking shots, I mean, they had bodies literally draped over them.
Well, another thing that we didn't adjust to is we just didn't adjust to the calls. You know, when you're playing a game and, you know, at the very beginning, really the first quarter, you figure out, okay, are the officials calling tight, or are they letting you play? And, you know, they were calling tight on us. And we never adjusted. And again, in all honesty, I didn't feel like they were calling tight on us, and I felt like they were calling very loose on them. And so you're trying to make that adjustment, and we didn't do a good job. I mean, again, you know, Mars Hill scored 30 points from the free throw line. And if you're sending a team, you know, and they're good free throw shooters. I mean, they were 30 for 35. And you're sending a good free throw shooting team to the line, and they're literally, I mean, as you see in the footage right now, I mean, they're walking 90 feet. You know, we're fouling them in the full court situation. They're walking 90 feet to shoot 2 free throws. I mean, we got to play smarter. It just wasn't a good performance by our team.
Yeah, I know turnovers in the second half really hurt you. A lot of those came in a three-quarter court press that they put on, and you know, at this point in the season, you got to handle that a lot better, and I know that that's going to be something you'll work on here in the next couple of days.
Well, we've definitely got to adjust some things and be ready for Queens on Saturday.
Well, that brings us to our next topic of discussion. I mean, obviously, Queens is a team that's in search of their first win of 2016. They are down at the bottom, somewhere around the 11 or 12 spot, or the 10, 11, 12 spot. LMU's still in the thick of the race. I think we went into that one on Wednesday night in a tie for third, if I'm not mistaken, in the league. So we're still in the thick of the race, and so much basketball to be played with the month of January just getting started, and obviously we won't finish this up until the regular season, until the end of February. So right now, in my mind, as I said in talking about the pregame for Saturday, that it's a very critical point in the schedule because now everybody's trying to settle in for that grind.
It is. We're one game out of second, and we are 3 games out of first. So obviously, our mindset is trying to win a conference. I mean, that's what every team in our conference is trying to do, and every game right now is crucial because right now Anderson still hasn't lost. So if even if we were to beat them twice, they're still a game ahead of us. So I mean, it's this loss at Marcel really hurts us. It puts us in a bad position because, and I was telling our players, you don't ever want to be in a position in the conference where you are hoping that another team loses because you have no control over that. You want to be in a position where you're doing your job and winning the games. And right now we've put ourselves in a poor position.
Well, not only that, and I don't want to put the cart before the horse, but it's Queens Saturday, but before our next show, you'll play Anderson on Wednesday, and they're going to come in here, at least as far as today's show goes, they're undefeated in league action.
Yes, and Anderson, well, first off, just with Queens, I mean, Queens is going to come in, it's going to be a tough game. They're not going to roll over, and, we're going to have to come out and play smart and play our game to beat them. And me and you have talked before, I mean, Queens is a team, they've got talent, Rusty, they've got talent. They just haven't started clicking yet, and I'm just hoping, again, we don't give them some confidence. They don't come out and start hitting a few shots and find the rhythm. So hopefully we can take care of business on Saturday. But then you got Anderson coming in, and I'm telling you, they're on top of the world. They have all the confidence, and they're coming in and they're trying to take care of business. And the only loss that they have right now is against Limestone, and they're just really playing well. I think Jennifer Monroe is playing out of her mind, and they're having a good season. So, for us to have a shot at the conference, championship regular season, we got to knock down Anderson and take care of business at home.
I know you got your work cut out for you, but I know that you and your staff are dissecting things as we speak, and certainly we'll have the Lady Railsplitters ready to go on Saturday and hopefully on Wednesday as well. Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
All right. Krystal Evans and her team tip off on Saturday at 2 o'clock in the Tex Turner. Pregame coverage begins at 1:40 on the LMU Sports Network, so join us for that broadcast, or come on out. Show your support for the Lady Railsplitters right there in the Tex Turner Arena. We're going to take a brief time out. When we come back, we'll hear from Josh Schertz as he and the Railsplitters, nationally ranked, and looking to take on the Royals this Saturday and also the Trojans on Wednesday. Back right after this.
Established in 1982, Dixie Roofing Incorporated of La Follette has been the industry's leader in commercial roofing throughout Knoxville, Tennessee, and surrounding counties for more than 30 years. From medical facilities to office buildings and educational institutions, Dixie Roofing has the experience, expertise, equipment, and know-how to handle roofing needs of any commercial structure, big or small. Dixie Roofing is also on the web at www.dixieroofing.com. Dixie Roofing Incorporated.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise and be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
Everywhere that we go, he makes people laugh and makes people smile, and I feel like I have that quality.
He's the one who always takes me fishing.
I watch golf with him. And
I watch him cook, because when I grow up, I want to be a cook too.
We have the same faces like this.
Dad is the one, when you fall, that picks you up.
That unconditional sense of presence and reassurance is really what makes him my father.
Josh Schertz and the Railsplitters are now 11-2 on the year and 7-0 in South Atlantic Conference play. They actually have picked up a loss since we last talked and a victory. The loss coming to nationally ranked Bellarmine University, who is number 11 in this week's NABC poll. And, of course, they have backed off to number 19 now after falling in that loss. But you redeemed that with a big road win over Mars Hill, a team that has been in every game they've played this year and right down to the wire, but not the case with the Railsplitters.
Yeah, well, they came out, and, my God, the first 10 minutes were unbelievable. You know, it felt like they weren't going to miss. They hit everything for a period of time, and some defensive breakdowns, and then sometimes we played great defense, and they just had better offense. So you could tell going in, you know, you and I spoke in the pregame, we said they were very talented offensively and a team that really could get going from the three-point line and just really put up points. And so, you know, was proud of. We hung in there. I thought we executed offensively, obviously made a ton of shots. And then on the defensive side, got better as the game went on. I don't think the numbers, watching the film, you look at the numbers, it doesn't look great, but I think it was better than numbers would indicate because you got to credit Mars Hill on some of those with just incredible shot making over challenge defense, and sometimes you know, their offense was just a little better than our defense.
No question. In the first half, I thought it wasn't that the threes they were making were completely uncontested. They were making long-range threes with bodies on them. I think when I was calling the game Wednesday night, I think that three guys had scored the first 29 points, and we were trailing at that point. So they had outscored our entire team. Three guys were doing it. And for the most part, I think all of that, except 4 points, was scored by two of them.
Yeah, you know, Yeargin, Witherspoon, and Monroe, and it was unbelievable. I knew we were in trouble when Witherspoon drove it in between two guys and shot a double clutch, one-hand floater from 19 feet that went straight in. I mean, it was, you know, the thing you got to hope in those scenarios is that they can't keep it up for 40 minutes. That's very difficult to keep up that level of shot making over a 40-minute window because, again, there was times where we broke down, obviously, and we made mistakes, and they took advantage of mistakes and technical things that we've got to improve on. But there was, again, probably more times where, you know, they just caught it and just jumped up over defense and made unbelievably difficult shots. And to go 9 for 11 from 3.5 like they did and shoot, I don't know what they shot, close to 60%. It was pretty remarkable. We've come back from Christmas, and between them and Bellarmine, the teams have gone 27 for 46 from 3 against us in the 2 games, and that's hard to do in the gym by yourself against no defense. And you know, 3-point shooting, people say, well, you know, can you be a really good 3-point defensive team? And the thing that, you know, it's really, you can't, because once the ball's in the air, it's a coin toss, right? So what you try to do is take away good looks, take away the 3-point line as much as you can, limit attempts. But we were number 1 in the country last year in 3-point defense. We led the nation. Gave about 26%. This year we're last in our league in 3-point defense. Shots were just going in. I mean, it's unbelievable. Some of them, like I said, you know, we have things we got to fix, and then some of it's just, you know, bad luck. And so hopefully our luck starts to turn a little bit, and Saturday would be as good a time as any to start, you know, getting on the upswing, and maybe somebody miss a shot against us occasionally, and that would certainly help our cause.
It'd be nice, but we can't afford to let some guys pound it inside.
True.
You know, I would imagine on Wednesday's game that the decibel level of the conversation in the locker room probably got a little bit elevated, and you know, it was evident that there was some kind of urgency to pick up the defensive effort in the second half, because you could see it not only in the shooting percentage, but in the difficulty that Mars Hill was having getting open and good shots.
Well, the best defensive teams, you know, when you're playing good players, you know, you do your work early, which means, you know, Russ, you got to do your work before they catch it. Once they catch it, you know, it's pretty much too late at that point. They're either in range or whatever the scenario is, whether it's in the post or perimeter. We taught at halftime, and the thing that's a struggle with this team, and they're a great group of guys, and obviously very talented and all that, is I think they're so good offensively that there's a belief, and it's not true, but there's a belief that, well, we can, you know, we don't have to be as locked in defensively. You know, we're going to compensate. We're going to go score, you know, 100 or 120. So, you know, if we give up points here, points there, you know, it's not a huge deal. And the reality is, as the competition improves, you play defense or you die. That's it. I mean, that's the way it is. And this program's been built on, that foundation of defending. And these guys have to be, I do think there was a difference in urgency in half two. And, why was that? I couldn't tell you. Again, it was our effort, wasn't horrible in the first half, but certainly the second half it was better. And if it could be better, then why wasn't it like that in half one? And that's the question they got to ask themselves.
Do you think that's the mentality that college basketball is kind of going to? I mean, they're kind of following the trend of the NBA. The NBA is a division that really, you see it more a showcase of offense than you do defense.
Well, I think, a lot of things trickle down. I think, and I think everything's been done to help the offense rule-wise, right? And shot clock and more possessions and all the rules now, or you can't touch, can't do this, so it makes it more offensive oriented. That's what I think, according to what they say the fans want, etc. Yeah, that's certainly a valid point. I think my hope is I think at any level, you look at last year, the Warriors ranked number one in the NBA in points per possession, defensive efficiency. We're going to have to be every year the NBA champions in the top 3 or 4 in NBA in defensive efficiency. Same thing at the college level. You have to be great on that side of the ball to beat other elite teams, because if you rely on offense, I think the nights where your shots don't go, you get beat. You can't score enough. So that's kind of the way it is, and where we have to get to. We have to make those improvements, and a lot of it, there's I think execution-wise, and then just having a sense of urgency, understanding that we need to play with a passion and energy on that side of the ball.
All right, we got Queens coming up on Saturday. Obviously, Bart Lundy and his team are not under anybody's radar this year. I mean, they're nationally ranked top 10. They're undefeated entering Saturday's matchup with the Railsplitters. And they've got everybody back from a year ago. Is there anything else we can pile on there?
Yeah, right. And they were, I was amazed. I looked at the score last night, and they beat Catawba by 15. I thought, that's about par for the course. Upon reading the recap, they were up 41 in the second half. Wow. 79-38 with about 11 to go, and pulled their starters out. So it was 27 at half and 41 midway through the second half. So just shows how good they are. No one's really been able to challenge them. They've got all 5 starters back, as we mentioned. They added 2 great transfers in Jacoby Davis and Daniel Camps. Camps is probably the most athletic player in the country at this level. Davis is a Mississippi State transfer. Show you how good they are. He's a Mississippi State transfer. He comes on the bench for them. So he's they're deep, athletic, big, extremely talented. Got a ton of answers. Personnel-wise, every position can beat you a lot of ways, and so we'll have to play our best game of the season to win, and certainly we expect their best. We're going to have to be at our very best, and it's going to have to be at a very, very high level against an outstanding team to have a chance to win on Saturday.
You and I talked on Wednesday night about the last time that LMU played 2 teams of a national caliber that were actually ranked in the top 25, but I don't know that LMU has ever, well, they say back in the 76 season that they have played 2 teams that were as highly ranked and as capable as Bellarmine and, of course, now Queens.
Yeah, I think it's the one thing that I think about our guys is they're battle tested. We've been through the rigors. We if we lose Saturday, it won't be because we're not battle tested. It won't be because we're not ready or we're scared or the moment's too big. It'll be because we weren't good enough or didn't execute good enough at that point. And so looking forward to seeing how we stack up. They're outstanding. It's going to take our absolute best coaching and playing to have a chance, and certainly we're looking forward to the challenge and know how difficult it's going to be Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, that's going to be a dandy. Folks, if you can't make it to the game, we want to remind you that you can catch it through the LMU Sports Network. That'll begin at 4 o'clock for the men. Pregame coverage will follow the end of the Lady Railsplitter matchup. That gets underway at 2 o'clock, and again, pregame for that is at 1:40. So definitely join us. I believe it's we're going to observe the in appreciation of the military service. So military service day, I think, there for that one. And then, of course, on Wednesday when they take on Anderson, that's going to be a beach night. And I think we're giving some kind of special prize away for the student at LMU that comes in the best beach attire. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it, Russ.
All right, we're going to take a timeout. We'll be back with a look at the week ahead. Stay with us here on the Railsplitter Athletics Report.
The Old Town Grill is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grill, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
Join the Vive Broadband TV revolution. Vive gives you the freedom to choose with loads of new channels like Up TV, The Hub, The Blaze, and Cubo. Vive's Watch TV Everywhere feature gives you the freedom to watch participating channels just about anywhere, anytime, on any device. And Vive Broadband Speed gives you the freedom to power internet TV services like Netflix, Hulu, Apple TV, and Google Chromecast. Join the TV revolution at vivebroadband.com.
If I got to go to college, oh my goodness. I like discovering new things. You get to see what works for you and what doesn't. That helps you evolve as a person. And you get to make like a supernova of skill or talent or whatever it is. I've always wanted to go to college. I just feel like that's my destiny. My name is Queen, and I am your dividend.
Big week ahead for the LMU men's and women's basketball teams, and we certainly hope that you'll be a part of it in some way, form, or fashion, whether it be in the Textern Arena, which is what we prefer, or through the LMU Sports Network by watching our broadcast. Back-to-back home games, first Queens on Saturday, then, of course, Wednesday night it's Anderson coming to town, and the Anderson women undefeated on the year in conference play, only one loss of the season. That was to Limestone, as you heard Krystal Evans say earlier. And then there you see the televised games that we'll have for the rest of the year. Now, in regard to the men, you see that some of those are going to be regionally televised. Actually, there will be one that will be a nationally televised game through ESPN3, and that's that Wingate game on February 6th. You can catch that with us on 91.3 WLMU FM, but if you want to watch the broadcast, obviously, you can catch that on ESPN3. But starting Wednesday night, a new venture with WYMT TV out of Hazard, Kentucky. We'll be regionally broadcasting the Railsplitters versus the Trojans of Anderson, and we certainly hope that you'll be a part of that crowd. Maybe we'll get you on camera. You never know. A lot coming up in the next week, so definitely be a part of it. To keep up to date on all that's going on with LMU Athletics, pull up the LMU Athletics website, www.lmurailsplitters.com. Everything you want to know about Lincoln Memorial University athletics, from scores, facts, statistics, player profiles, roster schedules, news releases, photographs, videos, much more. It's the LMU Athletics website. Do check it out. Until next week, I'm Rusty Peace. Thanks to our guests. Good night, everybody.